Thanks, Andrea. Hi, this is Lexi, and I'm going to talk to you about some of the common mistakes that people often make when developing surveys. Surveys are a very effective tool for collecting data, but it is important that they are executed properly. Avoid these common mistakes, and you will have a lot more success with your survey participants. The first big mistake we often see in survey development is general poor planning. An example of poor planning is writing poor quality questions that are sloppy, confusing, or have spelling mistakes. The wording should be clear and not open to interpretation. Another example of poor planning is in the delivery. The quality of delivery determines the response rate. Having an unclear subject line or coming from an unknown sender can cause people to delete an email before reading it. This limits the number of people that participate in the survey. Make the sender's name recognizable and choose your subject line carefully in order to trigger the recipient. This, of course, is referring to electronic surveys. Having unclear instructions is another recurring mistake that we see in surveys. The survey needs to be user-friendly. This includes making the survey easy and clear with how a participant is required to answer the questions and how they should submit it once it is completed. Another frequent error is not testing a survey before sending it out. When creating a survey, test it on a small group of friends, family, or colleagues to see how it appears when it is received and to ensure that it is not sent to junk mail, that it is user-friendly, etc. Not testing a survey before sending it out is a big mistake. Before sending a survey, it is also important to set a deadline for the survey to be completed. You will want to plan the time when you will send it. A common mistake is to send a survey at a bad time. During the workday is typically the best time. Not setting a deadline or sending a survey at a bad time are common mistakes with surveys. It is easy to see that poor planning is a big mistake when conducting surveys. Having the survey be anonymous is another big concern of participants. You will lose participants, or their answers will not be as honest if they're not assured that the survey is anonymous. This is one advantage to using paper surveys. Participants do not have to sign in any way. Another thing that you will want to avoid is not planning in advance how you will analyze the data once you've collected it. Be specific about what you want to find out and use this to guide your questions. You will also need to think about how you will share the information and when you will follow up with participants. If responses are low, send a follow-up email or message to remind participants to participate. If you forget to get participants' contact information, that will make follow-up difficult. Not sharing the data or following up with participants is another common mistake. Another frequent mistake that we see is not enticing participants. People need some sort of incentive to motivate them to fill out your survey. A discount, a coupon, or a gift card are good options. Avoid these common mistakes when creating surveys, and you will have much more success with your participants. Next, we have Jake to wrap up our presentation on surveys.